Well, I think we are good to go. We are good to kick this off. So today's session is about crypto in developing countries, and I think right now everyone is very happy. I mean, if you look at the market, everything is green, everything is going up. I think the hopium is increasing. So it is time to talk about new lands, new areas, new geographies where crypto can thrive in the near future. And I think Africa is one of the most interesting places to talk about because the differences, the dissipation of crypto between countries, it's very big. And James here, he is the perfect person to introduce us to this, let's say, hidden gem, to this new market. So James, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for dialing in. I know it's pretty late in Asia where you are right now. But yeah, let's start with some brief introductions from your side. What do you say?
That sounds amazing, Sabi. So first, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. Really appreciate you and the team for taking the time to do this. So hello, everyone listening. My name is James. I grew up in the Congo, Kinshasa. It's a francophone country with a population of around 100 million people. I was there for about 16 years and grew up there. My family has been in Africa for around three generations, and I also have an older sister named Alice who also grew up in Africa, and we are the co-founders of Jambo. Afterwards, we both found ourselves in New York. I attended New York University, and Alice was at Columbia University. By my sophomore year in 2015, I had purchased my first ETH, and by 2017, after graduating from NYU, I ran a crypto fund for 4 years that purely invested into crypto. Our scope of investments range anywhere from early stage startups such as Masari at the time to later stage such as Bitmain. We also invested into funds such as Metastable Capital, Scalar Capital, and more. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Really glad to be here.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your background. Now let's talk a bit about the project, about Jumbo, because you are creating something new. You are helping Africa to catch up. So maybe if you could give us an introduction of the project you are working on, that would be very nice.
Sure. So Jambo is building the Web3 infrastructure for Africa. So our aim is to bridge the gap in Africa and developing nations by leveling the playing field and granting access to income generating opportunities. We're essentially building a Web3 ecosystem that enables our users to explore new frontier technologies, opening up earning opportunities through a hands-on network. Our operations currently extend to over 19 regions across Africa, with key hubs in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Congo, Ethiopia, and Egypt. So to break it down, Jambo has two sides to our ecosystem, hardware side and a software side. I'll dive into the hardware side of things first. Our latest product, the Jambo Color, is our very own $99 Web3 Android smartphone that is currently available for pre-order. As some may know, Africa is an investment frontier like no other. What I mean by that is that Africa is a continent of 1.4 billion people with an average age of just 19, 300 million 4G users, and a projected smartphone penetration of 64% by 2025. And not only that, digital adoption in Africa is currently eclipsing other regions on a global scale. However, what's currently lacking is entry-level, affordable smartphones and education. Now, the interesting part is how our hardware phone ties into our software app. So we have the Jambo app currently available on Google Play for open beta that will come pre-installed onto our Jambo Color smartphone. Through the Jambo Super App, which incorporates our Jambo Academy, which is our 10-week learn-to-earn educational program focused on Web3, Jambo Chat, our instant messaging service, and the Earn ecosystem that offers monetary rewards for with Web3 opportunities.
Very interesting. I think we will dive in a bit more into that, but let's take a step back and discuss about crypto in Africa because Africa shows a positive response to crypto, and we can see developments every day. Every day something new appears, and people are adapting or adopting crypto. What fuels the adoption, these adoptions from your point of view? I think we can say that you are a local there and you can see with another perspective than us.
Right. Well, I think if you just look at the demographics first, it is 1.4 billion people, where 75% of the entire continent is younger than 35. 65% is younger than the age of 25. They boast the youngest country on the planet, the continent on the planet, excuse me. And with the Gen Z population booming, Africa hosts most of that. And not only that, I think most people have a misconception about Africa not having a lot of 4G penetration, not a lot of smartphone penetration, but currently they're on track to do 65% smartphone penetration by 2025, 300 million 4G users, and they are not slowing down. And I think what is fueling is the need. Right now in Africa, youth unemployment rates in Africa are as high as 60% in some countries. Um, and there's just a lot of inflation, as many people are aware. And Africa is yearning for opportunities to be able to be financially stable. Yeah.
Well, that is interesting, and I think that does ring a bell. We could see that maybe in earlier years on other countries or on other territories as well. Uh, you said that Africa is one of the youngest continents. What is the best way to advertise? Because we could see, I mean, for crypto, I think Twitter, YouTube are the main advertisers. We can see sports events as well from bigger centralized exchanges or from bigger platforms. Right now in Africa, what do you see? What is the best way to advertise? What is the best way to engage people?
Sure. Well, I'm not too sure about the advertisement for crypto specifically because Jambo doesn't do crypto transactions or directly advertise about crypto. However, what I can say is that Africa is a diverse continent with 54 countries, hundreds of ethnic groups, and over 2,000 different dialects and languages. And an approach that works in one country might not work in another. So what I would suggest that it's crucial to do first research in each market and its regulatory environment individually. I can also say that in general, the best avenues for advertisement in Africa will be finding the local routes, which are more boots on the ground heavy. You can go to things like local grain markets, work with mom and pop stores, help them set up an exchange for your logo on top of their store, things of this nature. And I think to dive a little deeper, Africa is a continent that's very rich with humor, culture, art, and tapping into what really what Africans really enjoy doing is an avenue. For example, I was just in Kenya a few months ago talking with the head of Binance in Africa, and one of the avenues of advertisement he would do would be to reach out to local comedians and have them advertise in a very funny and humorous way to get the word out in a space where everyone is more comfortable and more willing to listen and learn.
That sounds interesting. I don't think that I heard from anybody advertising through stand-ups, but I would like to see one of those. It must be funny. I would be very interested of the jokes. You know what kind of jokes can they make in order not to scare them off, especially after this bear market. Hope that I will find something on the internet. Nice. So. I will just steer away just a bit from Jambo because I want to ask all our guests about AI and what they think about AI. You know how you think that it will be integrated in crypto, and ultimately if and how it will be integrated into Jambo in the future.
Well, I can't really speak too much on how I see AI being integrated into crypto, but not for Jambo, not at the moment. However, we do encourage the utilization of AI features available to increase the efficiency of all of our works that are on marketing side, whether that is for using Excel sheets, etc., or even creating artworks for social media, things like that. Um, But I do think that the AI being integrated into many projects, for example, the Alliance cohort, most of their projects were AI projects. So I am very actually excited to see what the future holds for AI and crypto.
Okay, now let's talk a bit about the preparedness because I know that I think anyone on any continent now heard or knows about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the major coins, about centralized exchanges. However, for many, for example, DeFi is a step forward, or it's out of reach, or it's still like a mystique or something where they don't want to go because that's where all the scams happen, for example. Web3 is maybe another step in another direction, but that is very much in the future, right? And many see only games, many see only dystopian future, let's see, with the metaverse. Um, do you think Africa is prepared for the in-depth experience of Web3? Because I think that you need to go down on a rabbit hole if you want to catch up in a short period of time. And I think you just mentioned that the mobile companies they want a 65% increase by 2025, which is like it's near, it's here. So how do you see this development maybe from the past?
Yeah, from my personal experience, I could tell you, yes, Africa, in my opinion, is prepared for Web3. The reason I say that is because, for example, my friends in Congo use crypto a lot more than my friends that I went to school with in New York. And the reason being is because of the problems that we're solving for banking the unbanked, cross-border payments, remittances. That is what Web3 solves in general. It isn't going to be one specific token that will solve these issues, but the technology itself. And with the incredible digital technological advancements happening in Africa right now, I think Africa is ripe for Web3 adoption.
Well, it's very good to hear that. Now, I think I saw in one of your interviews you said that in Africa, mobile data is like currency, and of course the spread between the countries, like between developed and underdeveloped countries, is big. If you talk about mobile phones, do you think that Web3 will help to catch up, maybe for underdeveloped countries? I could imagine that those who are maybe in a developed city, the adoption of Web3 of the application of DeFi it's going to be much easier than in other countries where they are still, let's say, finding or discovering new applications which are not even related to crypto.
Right. Well, if for data, if you look at the historical data right now available to everyone on the internet, the cost of data in Africa has fallen significantly in the last 10 years. So the average cost of, for example, 1 gigabyte of mobile data in Africa was around 7% of an average monthly income in 2015. And now it's around 2.5% in just in 2020. So to solve, like, if because we all know that data is precious in Africa, what we are doing is we are partnering with telcos to provide free data when certain actions are taken. For example, if users come on our app to watch ads and do other things, they can get used data for free, and we work with telcos for that. And secondly, we work with telcos to reduce the cost of data packages. So we will be able to provide data packages at a 20 or 30% discount to our users directly approached from the Jambo app.
Okay, interesting. Now let's go back a bit to the hardware device, the phone. You said that it can be already pre-ordered and it's like a $99 phone, which I think is a huge advantage in order to make it affordable. How it's go For example, if I would be there and I would get a phone like that, what I would see on the phone, what would be on the phone? It is like a normal smartphone, or already comes with a, pre with available applications from of Jumbo, or how it's going to look like.
Yes, so super excited about our Jambo phone, the Jambo Color. We are launching Pan Africa in Q3 of this year. I don't really want to bore you with a specific set of specs on the phone, but we basically super packed it with incredible features. You can check those out on our website for more details and pre-order yours at jambocolor.com. Each phone will come with our Jambo app pre-installed on it for easy access, as well as other apps which are part of our Earn ecosystem. So through our ecosystem and Jambo Color, we allow our users to earn rewards daily, weekly, and monthly simply by engaging in activities their users already love, such as TikTok, gaming, and more. And we're currently in discussions with hundreds of potential partnerships at the moment, working with the top Web3 as well as top Web2 games and apps. As Jambo's not a hardware company, we're not going to be making any money on the phone. Our goal is to distribute out as many phones as possible. And how we create value will be through the software, the apps within our game hub that will be pre-installed on the phone.
That's very interesting to hear. And I also saw that you are focusing very much on education as well in Web3. So I assume that there will be different sections of it in the phone.
Yes, into the phone. So our apps will be installed into the Jambo Color.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, you mentioned that the data, the price of the data, or yes, the price of the data in Africa is dropping, and you want to spread this as much as possible. Do you see Web2 companies interested in Web3 in Africa? Do you see any, I don't know, future relationships with them? Any kind of them?
Well, we know for a fact that telcos and a bunch of infrastructure providers that we work with and speak to on a regular basis are actually very excited. I can't really speak for other enterprises, to show that we are really in the know how important people as the infrastructure available in Africa um, for the appliance services. But what I can say is that because the telcos and some of the people that we're talking on a regular basis are excited, I can confirm that there are a lot of Web2 companies out there that are interested in Web3.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, let's go forward and discuss about how is the response of the phone for the phone. You mentioned that it's already in pre-order. It can be pre-ordered by community members or by anyone who wants to buy. How do you see the response from the community? I imagine that uh, due to recent market, it must have been maybe it's a bit harder, but I assume it will pick up as the market also shows some new hopium.
Yeah, so right now we have had a couple thousand pre-orders. We are very excited to launch it. If you want to get your order right now, you could actually go get it at jambocolor.com. We have listed our specs on the website. If you want to check it out, we have a really big HT dot drop display, a tri-camera design, and an incredible battery life with a dual SIM, expandable storage. And all of this is because we're not really a hardware company, we are trying to create the most value through the apps within the Game Hub that will be pre-installed onto the phone. And just for the price of $99, which will be affordable for most people in Africa.
That's very nice to hear. Now I have two more questions, so I'm not gonna keep you up too much. What is the next step for the project? What you are working on right now?
So the next step will all be about revenue for this year, which will be generated on our Earn ecosystem, as I previously mentioned. And yeah, that's going to be our sole focus, generating revenue this year.
James, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
So
Hello.
my or maybe I was on mute. Sorry. So I just said that my last if you have any announcements the community should look out for the audience.
Sure. So currently, Jambo, as I mentioned previously, is in discussions with hundreds of potential partnerships at the moment. We're working with the top two Web2 and Web3 games to unlock the immense potential of this growing market. And we're currently offering partnerships and opportunities to be featured in our upcoming Game Hub within our Jambo Super App and also direct pre-installations into our Jambo Color phone. And in this way, we can help your project to reach new customers, expand brand recognition, and allow your project to be leveraged onto our Pan-African community. So if you guys are interested in a partnership with Jambo, please contact us at james@jambo.technology.
Yes, and follow the Twitter handle as well. Well, James, I don't
Yes,
have
please do
any
that.
more questions. Yes, I don't have any more questions. This was very brief, but I think you shared lots of very important information. So thank you very much for that. Hope
Thank
that
you,
we can do
Zavi.
this again and
Yes.
very very soon.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Talk to you next time.
Yes, thank you very much. And yes, we are coming back in 2 weeks with our roundtable, my colleagues, Naini and Peter. Thanks again for tuning in and see you in the next one.
Thank you.